Many nations have promised to stop or limit their oil and gas imports in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine in order to reduce Moscow's income and impede its military campaign. Cutting back would be challenging because the Russian economy is heavily dependent on its energy sector and Europe is a significant buyer of Russian energy. Fact 10. Putin's directive to pay in rubles to unfriendly countries can be interpreted as punishment for the sanctions that have prevented several Russian banks from transacting on the international financial market and forced some Western enterprises to close their operations in Russia. One reason might be political, such as demonstrating to domestic audiences that Putin can set the terms of gas exports. Additionally, the need that payments be made through Gazprombank may deter additional penalties against that bank. Fact 9. By meeting approximately 40% of the EU's natural gas needs in 2021, Russia was the EU's top supplier, giving Moscow significant influence over the EU's energy market. After launching its major invasion of Ukraine in February, it didn't waste any time in putting that power to use, severely restricting gas deliveries to the region and raising prices to all-time highs in an effort to weaken Western unity and support for Kyiv. It is anticipated that this year's pipeline exports of Russian natural gas to the EU would be roughly 60 BCM, down from 140 BCM in 2018 and nearly 200 BCM in 2019. Fact 8. According to Alina Rybakova, an economist at the Institute of International Finance in Washington, around 10% of Russia's government budget revenue this year came from gas exports, and about 34% came from oil and refined product exports. Russia is predicted to have two consecutive 2% budget deficits in 2022 and 2023, necessitating the use of the so-called rainy day fund by the Kremlin to make up the difference. Fact 7. Without Russian natural gas, Europe's economy would struggle, however the effects would differ depending on how much each country uses. The estimated lost growth for the entire European economy varies greatly according to economists. In a recent research, Moody's analysts predicted that a complete energy cutoff, including gas and oil, would plunge Europe into a recession. Fact 6. The consequences of an instant boycott, according to European leaders, are something they cannot afford. Instead, they want to utilize less Russian gas as soon as they can. Additional liquefied natural gas is being ordered by ship, more gas is being sought from pipelines coming from countries like Norway and Azerbaijan, wind and solar energy development is accelerating, and conservation efforts are being pushed. Fact 5. Germany, which lacks an import terminal, is attempting to construct two, however, this will take time. Italy, which imports 40% of its gas from Russia, has agreements in place to replace nearly half of that supply with gas from Algeria, Azerbaijan, Angola, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and it is aiming to acquire more from Qatar. And there is pressure on Europe to replenish its underground stores in time for the heating demand of the upcoming winter. Fact 4. Despite the worst relations between Moscow and the West in decades, Russia continues to provide the EU with LNG as well as gas via pipelines that pass through Turkey and Ukraine. However, other analysts worry that the Russian pipeline supplies may be further reduced or cease altogether in 2023, leaving Europe with few options but to look elsewhere for gas. Fact 3. The amount of gas in EU storage sites was well above the 5-year average at the beginning of December, serving as a crucial buffer going into winter as a result of actions taken by European governments and businesses throughout 2022 in response to the energy crisis and the destruction of demand caused by enormous price spikes. The decrease in Russian deliveries in 2022 was partially offset by consumer behavior, an increase in non-Russian gas sources, and favorable weather. Fact 2. According to the report, while Europe's options for importing more natural gas are constrained, there are a few nations with extra export capacity that may boost exports by absorbing gas that is now vented. Opportunities to increase the production of low-emission biogases are also described in the report. Fact 1. The gas war between Russia and Europe has been a source of tension for several years. At the center of the conflict is the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which would transport natural gas from Russia to Germany and bypass Ukraine. The EU, with support from the US, has opposed the project due to concerns over energy security and increased dependence on Russia for energy supplies. The situation has escalated with the US imposing sanctions on the companies involved in the construction of the pipeline. The future of the pipeline and EU-Russia energy relations remains uncertain as both sides continue to negotiate a resolution. The gas war has significant implications for the energy security and stability of Europe and the wider international community. That's it for today. Share and subscribe and press the bell icon for more such content.